Good morning, everyone. This is Jeffy Kennedy, author of epic fantasy romance. I'm here with my first cup of coffee. Heaven. Hmm. Today is Thursday, August 18th. Um, Closing in on the end of August. It's a lovely, uh, rainy-ish morning. We got some rainy in the night, so it's a little damp and cool out here this morning. I was going to come out and light the mosquito candle to sort of fumigate before I came out here, but I forgot. So I see them hovering about. Wonder if it would help to light it now. Or shall we just stick it out? As one comes and lands on me, I suppose I better light it. I'll be right back. All right, probably a good thing I did that because as soon as I came out here, about five of them swarmed my head and one already bit my ankle. So I knew they were thick this morning because they were gathering on my bathroom screen as I was getting ready because mosquitoes are attracted to light. I don't know if you all knew that, but mosquitoes follow light and they will come in towards the cities and stuff. And they will, my candle's wet, so one of the wicks just went out. They'll gather on the screen outside the window. Don't go into the light, Carol Ann. Well, one wick is going anyway. So, here we are then. Let's see. So, I have Ryder Coffee today. We'll be heading for that. And lots of stuff to do. Lots of stuff to do both today and tomorrow. Busy days. Tomorrow evening, flying to Tucson. Oh, my allergies are going too. Pause just in time to spare you the explosive sneeze. Ah, so, yeah, yesterday was a good day. I got a lot done. I got everything done on my to-do list. So I mentioned on Tuesday that there are so many mosquitoes hovering around here. I mentioned on Tuesday that uh, that my friend Megan had been talking to me about a new way of doing to-do lists. So for those of you who have listened to me for a long time, you know that I am a hater of mosquitoes. I actually do. Mosquitoes are like the only living creature I will gleefully kill. Trying to light this other wick again. I think it's not going to happen. No, it lights and goes out. Oh well. Um, To-do lists. So those of you who know me well know I love my spreadsheets, and I I do still love my spreadsheets. And in fact, one of the things Megan was talking about was like that this guy, whose name I forget, but I linked to in the last podcast, and I'll link to again, recommends like a physical to-do list so you could cross things off. I get just as much joy from deleting and taking it off. So I have a to-do list that's a series of running columns that with dates on it. My current to-do list, well, I could tell you because I've got it up. It's one of the first things I open in the morning. Go away, mosquitoes. Okay. There. Sorry if it's not wanting to show me. Well, this doesn't seem right. Oh, there we go. Okay. It was being funny. There's something about this touch screen, the way it does things. It like splits stuff out in a way that I don't love. So yeah, it mine goes out through, I think it's set for like the end of the year. We don't need to spend a bunch of time looking at this. I think I have it going out till like January. Yeah, December 23rd. Oh no, past that. Why is this doing this? It's being so weird. All right. Now we've spent so much time on this that I need to look. Wonder if this is like being out on the internet. I don't love that Microsoft Office makes you be online. I've got it scrolling out for like through March, April. Okay, it doesn't matter. Easily through April. Um, and I have certain things that I put on it every day, that I have it um, sort of scrolled out, um, in an order to try to get some balance to my days. Where you all know I'm a fan of working incrementally. So I work. I try to move things forward a little bit every day. So, like, I work on finances every day. I'll try to do like half an hour on that. I try to spend like an hour on SIFWA and then stop. Doesn't always work out that way, but so I have it divided out into things like the podcast is on there, or the blog, um, business, household, things like that. Or if I'm teaching a class, I need to remember to like go in and deal with the class that day. So, mosquitoes, mosquitoes. So, I'm always I do think that everything is an iterative process, right? So I'm always refining how I'm doing things. And with the to-do list, I mentioned this on Tuesday that there are those things that just slide down that I always move from one day to the next as I don't get to them. And the thing that Megan said to me that was such a revelation was to keep an ongoing list, but move it off of that daily list so that you don't have this feeling of failure when you move those things to the next day and the next day and the next, which is really what I was doing. And I was ending up with, like, especially under business or something like that, I would have like 20 things. And I knew I wasn't going to get to all of them in one day. I knew that wasn't even possible. But I knew that I would be able to um, maybe get to them. I always had this idea, well, like if I have time, this is when I'm going to get to them. And I had them arranged in order of priority. Well, that meant the ones at the bottom of the list were just like some of them had been moving, you know, from day to day to day since the beginning of the year, easily, possibly before. And it did have more of a mental and emotional impact on me than I realized, because taking those things off of my list created this immense sense of lightness and relief. So now I have my ongoing list that's on another worksheet, and I have to figure out a method or a schedule to go to that ongoing list and bring the things over to my current list. But so I've been putting, since I returned, so just well, really Tuesday and yesterday, but still I put on my list for that day only the things that I thought I could get done that day and needed to get done that day. And it and I did. I got them all done, and it was wonderful. It felt great. So I'm going to try to keep doing that. So I have quite a bit of um, errand stuff and so forth to do today and tomorrow, because, as I said, we're flying to Tucson tomorrow night. So I have things to do to get ready for that. Birthdays, my aunt's birthday, my stepdad's birthday. So, and writer coffee. I mentioned that. Yoga, I'm going to try to go to in person yoga this afternoon. I'm committed to go. We will see tomorrow if I make it, but I really, really want to go to in person yoga today. So I've kind of got my schedule figured out for that. So uh, there's like, I don't, there's so many mosquitoes around. I just can't even. They must have really burgeoned in the night. So let's see, what else? Yeah, I mean, this just really has made a difference. And I think that what I need to do is like on the weekend or on Friday, go through my ongoing list and put things on the list for the following week. Because one of the goals is to try to not move things from one day to the next, right? To try to have it be only on that day and then, this one just dive bombed me there. Have only on that day what you think you can get done. I have considered not having lists at all. Um, but too many things drop through the cracks if I do that. Um, yeah. So I think that this will work. I'm excited for this. I'm excited to see how it works on a weekend when I'm not traveling, as I am for the next 3 weekends in a row. Uh, but after that, if I have only a couple things on the weekend that I really need to get done, then I will. Yeah, I'll see. I'll see how that works, and maybe that'll help free up my weekends somewhat. I oh, what was I just about to say? Oh, you may have noticed when I mentioned my to do list, I don't have writing on there. Um, there are certain things, and maybe this is telling, that I do every day that are not on the list. Exercising, getting my words in. I think because those are givens, those are just part of my routine. They're part of what I do first thing in the morning. I don't have other things on there like eating. Oh, something's tickling my face now. There was a time in my life when I had myself so scheduled that I did have on there like eating and sleeping, um, grooming, when I was really trying to get maximally efficient at my time. But no, now I only have the things that I want to try to move forward every day. So, um, so yeah, I'm really excited about how that's working. It it's amazing to clear out the list for the day, and then I delete that column at the end of the day when I'm done, and shut down the computer, and then I'm done for the day, and it's great. Um, so I found one of the things that was on my list yesterday was to pick up my office, which really needed to happen because it drives me crazy when my office is all messed up. And I did get that done. And I found a note from a while back on something I had meant to mention. And that was, um, and I can't remember what made me think of it originally, but it was an interesting insight. I was thinking about errors in books. Um, Inevitably, there are some. And I was just thinking about when I was younger, particularly when I was a very young reader and really starting to pick out and glom books on my own. And I remember in particular reading Ian McCaffrey's Dragons of Pern books and finding mistakes. Uh, I remember finding a continuity mistake and I nearly wrote to her about it. And now I'm glad I didn't because it's like now I know that authors hear about their continuity mistakes all the time. And but I was so surprised that there was this mistake, like where she um, called a character one thing in one book and then something else in the next book. And then the other thing that was so interesting to me is like when they would do that teaser chapter at the end of the book, and when I would get the actual book, some of the words were changed. it wasn't the same. And I was astounded by that. And I was young at this point, probably, I don't know, 11, 12, and really starting to, maybe I was learning at school some, but also just starting to really analyze stuff with a critical eye, really thinking about the text I was reading and putting it in context of the world. And what those those mistakes revealed to me was this epiphany. Now I understand scrambled eggs. I suddenly realized that authors are human beings. And I realize that this sounds kind of silly, right? But, of course, authors are human beings. But I've realized now that many people never do quite realize that. That whole Cressley Cole thing when I talked about, you know, someone dealing with health and family issues and how hard it is to be creative then, and it's like my most listened to podcast ever, because somebody like shared it to a bunch of Cressley Cole fans who were frustrated she hadn't come out with the next book, which I believe she's come out with since. But several people commented to me. That's how I figured it out. Like, where were all these listens coming from? And they said, oh, that they'd never really thought of it that way. And I understand, because when you love books, when you discover books, they are these magical things. And realizing that somebody created them and that that person is a human being who has health issues and who, may be unhappy, that they're not like some angel who just emanates books. Discovering that Anne McCaffrey, my idol, had made mistakes gave me great insight. Seeing how she changed those teaser chapters into the final version of the book gave me insight too on how a person might change things. And she didn't always change things the way I liked them. Uh, I did have some of that syndrome where we like the first way that we see things and tend to wed ourselves to that. Um, but I don't know, she also smoothed it in a way that it's hard to explain. But it gave me lots of insight into her process, and I was fascinated by that. So I had wanted to mention that. And I don't think I have a whole lot else to say today. Yeah, all of my news happened on Tuesday. Yesterday was a good day. I'm past 60,000 words on Shadow Wizard, so that's coming along well. Excited for that. Thank you for all the pre orders on that one. I hope that you all love this book. And I think on that note, I'm just going to go get to work, get an hour done before I go to Writer Coffee. And I will talk to you all tomorrow. You all take care. Bye bye.